Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Lesson Classics. This is episode number 1948 and Doubleshot number 1842. Now, these two trades, I picked these up just yesterday. The second one, I actually originally ordered this from Amazon, but I canceled it when I saw it at this comic shop. The comic shop I go to. But the first one is probably one of the more expensive books to buy in some time. What book is it? We have Black Adam, Rise and Fall of an Empire. Yes, it's another one of these trades that basically was released as a promotional thing for the Black Adam movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, this book is really thick. And by the way, the original cover price of this thing is $35. You're thinking, really, Nick? You paid that much for this damn thing? Yes, I did. Purely because of the fact I wanted a couple more 52. 52, great maxi series, and this has select stories from it. It mostly is all the Black Adam stuff because he was one of the main stories of 52. But he didn't appear in all 52 issues. Oh no. These are the issues he appeared in that's collected in this trade here. We had the first three issues, 6, 10, 12 to 16, 18, 22, 28, 22, 26, 29, 32, 34, 36, 38 to 40, 42 to 50, and 52. Yeah, that's a lot of comic books. Now, these are your writers for these issues. Jeff Johns, Greg Rucka, Grant Morrison, and Mark Waid. Yeah, the four primaries of 52, with Keith Giffen also doing some co-art writing here. And these are your artists. These are your pencilers for these issues alone. Now, the first name, obviously, you probably know this guy because he was the artist behind the Immortal Hulk series, Joe Bennett. We also have Chris Batista, Eddie Burroughs. I met this guy. We're not going to meet in person. He was the artist behind James Tim the Force Run for the comics. Todd Nunick, Dale Inglesham, which this was the artist behind the recent Secret Six book. Sean Noll, Drew Johnson, Phil Jimenez. The last book I think this guy worked on was Superwoman. Patrick Oakley, Tom Durink, Joe Perito, Dan Jurgens. I have actually met Dan Jurgens. Really nice guy. The sole creator of Doomsday. Despite the fact we have 5 or 6 other names who were credited with creating Doomsday, Dan Jurgens created Doomsday. Jamal Ingo, Andy Smith, Norp Rampant, which I believe this is an artist who works with Tony S. Daniel sometimes. Gustavo Kamakali, Derek Robertson, Justine, and Mike Knoll. The cover art for this trade here is by J.G. Jones and Alex St. Clair. This is the story of Black Adam during the events of 52, where this is like right after the events of the Black Rain storyline, which I will cover in the future, don't worry, where he's got his own country now. He's trying to get the superheroes out of his country. He's kind of under house arrest, where he's not legally allowed to leave his own country. And during this period of time, he has interactions with Intergang. He gives himself a smoking hot wife named Ardeen, who becomes Isis in this storyline. And she later dies at the end of the storyline. And one of the plot threads they have in here is searching for her brother, which they do find him. And her brother becomes Osiris. Yes, becomes Osiris. And become part of the Black Adam family. Kind of basically Black Adam's adopted brother, even though it's his sister's brother, even though it's his wife's brother. Yes. Interesting, though, we named these two people after Egyptian gods, despite that he's, not technically Egyptian. So, he also has interactions in here with Billy Batson, who is Captain Marvel, Mary Marvel, Captain Marvel Jr., the Teen Titans, which Osiris tried to join, but they turned him down. He does join the Titans at one point, but not the Teen Titans. He joins the Villains for Hire Teen Titans. Deathstroke's group. Yes, that's when he joins the Titans. We also appearance here with Dr. Savannah, which of course Black Adam talks with his ex-wife, which he does mention to her, your ex-husband was just we were not a friend, just close acquaintances. That's it. You're like, oh yeah, that's not a really big issue. But at least she knew him. Yeah, but I gotta hand it these. This actually is a really cool idea to do, like collecting all the Black Adam stuff from the 52 issues in one trade like this. This definitely was a smart move on their part. I kind of wish they would do this for other characters who actually had stories in this book, like Renee Montoya. There's a mention here about, now, Vic Sage, the original question. He does appear in this book. Yeah, in the Events 52, it was discovered he had cancer, and toward the end of the series, he actually died, and Renee Montoya became a new question. At one point, she becomes friends with Isis, and she gives Black Adam information. He's not really favor her, but he allows her to live because she was his wife's best friend. Okay, good on their part. And there's also stuff here with the JSA too, but this stuff here is just really good. At one point, he gets captured. Yes, Black Adam gets captured by a group of rogue Chinese. No joke about that. And apparently, one of the guys is an old Wonder Woman villain. Yeah, Chen Zun, I think his name is, though he's not drawn like the stereotypical Asian one from the 50s, where he gets shot by Dr. Savannah. Yeah, and of course, the JSA rescue him because they didn't make a deal with the Grade 10. Okay, you can have Chen Zun. We have Black Adam. We'll get Black Adam. And, of course, the Grade 10 are like, okay. And they march in. And, of course, they do free Black Adam. And Asmasher basically just is the one who basically talks to him, which kind of nice on the part of the writers to remember the fact that he was part of the Black Rain stuff. This book is fantastic. And it's well worth paying the price for it. I give this trade a 10 out of 10. It's really, really good. Story is consistent. Now, in case you're curious though, does Black Adam appear in the events of Countdown to Final Crisis? The answer is no. No, he doesn't. Isis does briefly come back at one point in the pages of Jeff Johns' Run for Justice Inside America, where she gets turned into a statue by the Wizard Shazam, along with Black Adam. And Billy Batson can shift his powers. Yeah, it was way of Jeff Johns undoing something that technically you probably think, oh, Grant Morrison response to turning Mary Marvel evil. No, that was basically one of the writers of Countdown who did that. So you can't exactly blame Grant Morrison for the characterization of Mary Marvel for acting evil, having the powers of Black Adam. I'm not going to blame Grant Morrison for that. I'm blaming one of the writers. I blame whoever wrote that story in Countdown, because that's where it started. Blame that. Alright, next up is another character from the Supernatural. Kind of. We have Moon Knight, Volume 2, Too Tough to Die. This collect issues from Moon Knight. I believe this is Volume 7, issues 7 through 12, and Devil's Reign Moon Knight. Yes, they actually included the Devil's Reign one-shot here, which I believe this is actually the second trade I have reviewed where it's not one of Devil's Reign trades that has something related to... Now, being this trade is perfectly fine. Though, there is an issue that does explain... Like, there's an issue that explains during this thing where you have Hunter's Moon. This was another Fist of Cthulhu who Moon Knight works for. Who is just sort of a black suited version of Moon Knight, because Moon Knight is like the white version. This guy's the black version. No, the character's in black underneath. I can think of no. So he goes to the bar with no name, and it's like he knows knows the people here. I'm gonna say one word. I hope you guys answer me. Zodiac. Yeah, he spends the whole story looking for Zodiac, and it's also revealed in here that Tigra, who has been helping him out in the previous issues, turns out she's a spy of Avengers, and when she tells Mark Spector about this, he's like, I already knew. I kind of expected. Yeah, this is actually a nod to what happened in the pages of Jason Aaron's run for Avengers, called The Fist of Cthulhu, which I think it's called Age of Cthulhu, which kind of indirectly helps set up this particular series. And he does eventually meet up with the Zodiac, fights him and beats him. Yes, he defeats him in combat. As payback for what happened in issue 6. Great job at Devin K's part. This book is just fantastic. I'm loving this book so far. I was kind of hoping to pick up the first trade collector's one for Strange, but wasn't there, surprisingly. I'm going to give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, by the way, in case you're curious though, now this is his outfit, which is his outfit that he had from the Jeff Lemire run as Moon Knight. But, excuse me. Yeah, you gotta love this here. Here's Moon Knight. Yep. You gotta love this artwork here. Now, the Devil's Reign one shot, it's simply put basically what Mark Spector was up to during Dark Reign, where he was captured by Will Smith's forces and put in, I think he was put in prison. Now here's Hunter's Moon. He was a new character that was established. He's established as a fist of Cthulhu, not the main one. Moon Knight's that. So, yeah, and so apparently where Moon Knight's in this prison, the reason why he's here is not just because Will's Fist captured him, because he wanted to go after Marco. You're thinking, Marco, who the heck is that? Ex-bodyguard of Silverman, the guy indirectly responsible for giving Cloak and Dagger powers. Yep. But that's simply what that is. But this book, just really, really good. Still enjoying this book. 9.5 out of 10. Just really good. Okay, so that's it for review. Next up, it's going to be more Parallel World Pharmacy. Okay, next video. Bye.